Does my cat know his name? Does my cat know her name? I'll step out on a very short limb and guess that these questions have likely been posed by most of the viewing audience. I think we've all wondered, but what about this question? In a multi-cat household, does each individual cat know the names of the other folks? Does your cat named Garfield know that Socks is the name of another cat in the home? In this material, I'll break down this very interesting topic and let you in on what some of the research experts have to say on the subject. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Felines are quite keen on the details. When you watch a cat in action when they're awake, of course, they're often the very definition of alert, especially healthy young adult felines. Cats pay attention to most everything. It's in the job description. And in a multi-cat household, a lot of that attention, probably more than you think, is paid to the other cats. What they're doing, where they are, if they're getting some type of special treatment. I mean, as a cat, I need to know if I'm supposed to be jealous. When you consider all of these factors, so much of which is simply just cats being cats, it becomes a bit easier to understand why it's certainly possible that cats not only know their very own names, but perhaps, just perhaps, the names of other cats in the home. Researchers at Kyoto University, located in Kyoto, Japan, conducted a study all about today's topic. The goal was to observe felines who lived around multiple cats, monitor the cats, and more importantly, know how they associate with people. The observation groups were separated into two classifications: domestic felines, presumably living in a multi-cat home environment, and felines that lived in a cat cafe or cat cafes or feline observation areas where people pay to interact with the cats. Because of these establishments, numerous cats interact with various people throughout the day. During the study, researchers presented the cats with pictures of the other cats. Cats they would know, cats they associated with on a daily basis. With the images displayed, voice recordings were played with the owner of the feline in the picture speaking the name of the cat in the image, and then speaking a different name, presumably a random name. The conclusion was that the domestic cats paid more attention to each individual image when the owner said a random name compared to when the owner spoke the proper name. The head of the study, in their own conclusion, stated that some degree of confusion was potentially brought on due to the wrong name being said, as it didn't match up with the exact image. Researchers involved in this project also noted that cats who had known each other for a very long time seemed to stay more involved with the images when the wrong name was spoken. On the flip side, cats in the feline cafe environment displayed less concern, let's call it, when the wrong name was mentioned. The conclusion of the study as a whole was that cats in the cafe environment didn't express much interest when images and names just didn't match up, because the logic suggested that people are always calling those cats various names throughout the day. In short, those cats don't have consistent names. It's hard to know that Socks is actually Socks when 10 different people possibly call that cat 10 different names. On the flip side, cats in a more domestic environment where names are sound and very much consistent are more likely to realize that something is wrong when the name doesn't fit the image. Felines in a multi-cat household don't hear a bunch of random names being thrown at them or around them. This plays to the idea of more structure. Thus, each individual cat not only understands their own name, but quite possibly knows the name of the other cats, or at the very least understands that the other names aren't their own. The smaller the circle, the more likely it can become for each cat to know and be alert to the names of the other felines around them. Now, does this really prove anything for certain? Not really, but I think we can see where the project was going, those responsible for the project, where they were going and the direction they were headed, and where they were coming from. Noting the reaction of each cat when the name was wrong, did it mean anything to them? Did those cats truly care? The more focus each cat had on the wrong name signaled, at least to some degree, they knew that something just wasn't right. Now, how that information was or is truly processed is likely anyone's guess. Of course, what this does prove at the very foundation of it all is that if you're attempting to name your cats, A, pick a name and stick with it whenever possible, and B, make sure that you direct your full vocal and certainly physical attention to the cat while speaking. Over time, each individual cat will begin to not only understand who they are, but also who they're not. So, interesting here today with this content to the audience of Senior Cat Wellness. What do you think of the study? Would you have approached it using other methods? If you do personally have multiple cats, what was the naming process like for you? Was there some early confusion? If you brought up kittens, let's say from the same litter, and obviously named them roughly at the same time, was that quite an adventure? What was it like? Did you say, "Come here, Garfield," only to have four cats running at you at the same time? And here's another question. Did you purposely give your cats very unique and dissimilar names? Did you go out of your way to avoid confusion? Do you have a Bob and also a Lucy? Or a Smokey and a Fred? Cat named Fred. I'd like to meet a cat named Fred. You know he's got to be cool, right? Quite an interesting topic, a bit of a different topic for sure. Your thoughts, general commentary, anything and everything in between. The comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this material, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and as always, I will talk to you later.